Hi, and welcome to HelpYourMath.com. In today's video, we're going to be covering complex numbers. Now, before we begin complex numbers, there's two very important things we need to know. The first being how to write our solutions for standard form for complex numbers. And the form is going to be a plus bi, where a is a number in value, and b is also a quantitative number in value. Now, besides knowing how to put our solutions for complex number series problems, we also have to keep two ideas in mind. And one is, whenever we square the I term, the imaginary term, and we square it, and we take it, we get -1. Also, taking the square root of a -1, or a negative term, gives us an imaginary term. Now let's begin with some adding and subtracting of complex numbers. In our first series of the problems, we have 2 plus 3i's plus 4 minus 2i's. And here we're adding the two sets together. So what we want to do is isolate the terms by first bringing down the parentheses and then combining the like terms. So first we're going to have 2 plus 3i's. Here the plus is going to change none of the signs. We just bring down the parentheses and we get 4 minus 2i when we add. Now our very first step is to combine the like terms. So here we're going to put the 2 and the plus 4 next to each other, and we're going to take this plus 3i and put it next to the negative 2i's. Now here we're just going to do the combining of like terms. So here 2 plus 4 is just 6. And here 3i's take away 2i's are just 1i. And that's a positive i, right? So make sure you keep track of your signs. Remember, when you see two signs with different numbers, you're taking the difference of the two terms, keeping the sign of the larger. When the terms have the same sign, you're combining those numbers, adding them, and keeping the sign of the two numbers, all right? Let's move on to the next one. Here we have a subtraction. So we have 4 take away 2i's minus 7 plus 3i's. So again, we're going to bring down the parentheses of the first term because it's a positive term in the front. So we have 4 take away 2i's. Here we have a negative term, which means we're going to change everything inside the parentheses to opposites. So we're going to take this 7 and change it to a -7. We're going to take this positive 3i and change it to a negative 3i's. Now we're going to move the like terms closer to each other. So we have 4 take away 7. And we're going to take this negative 2i's and these negative 3i's and leave them next to each other. When combining these two terms, 4 and 7 have two different signs. So we take the difference of the two numbers. And the difference between 4 and 7 is 3. We keep the sign of the larger number, which is the 7. So we keep the negative. And here we have negative 2i's minus 3i's. They have the same sign, so we're going to add the two numbers, which give us 5i's. And we keep the sign because they're the same direction. So we're going to have negative 3 minus 5i's. That's our solution for the subtraction. Now here in this last one, we have a little bit of a trickier problem, right? And we have negative 7 minus 2i's take away negative 4i to the second power, right? Now the first step here in the order of operations is, of course, whatever inside parentheses, right? So in this set of parentheses, we have nothing to do. We can just bring them out. Negative 7 minus 2i's. In the second set of parentheses, we have a sign change. All right? So we're going to just change this sign. The square is not associated with this term because the square is only associated with the I. So here the negative changes us to a positive 4i squared. Now, as if you remembered this from before, envision that I squared is equivalent to -1. So this here is going to get substituted with this value of -1. So we have -7, negative 2i's, plus 4 times -1. Here in this operation, we're going to get the -7 minus 2i to come down. Positive 4, -1 give us -4. And finally, we have -7, -4. These two terms are going to come together. -7, -4, same sign. We combine the numbers. 7 and 4 make 11. We keep the sign of the two numbers because they're the same. -11 minus 2i. That concludes our addition and subtraction component. Thank you.